Test, test. All right. I hope all you guys are enjoying these random out of nowhere live streams that I've been doing. So I see Insane Coaster Junkie here. What's up? Yeah, I read that. I read that, Jay. Good luck to you and your channel in the future. Take care of yourself first. You know, make sure you're good, and do whatever you need to do, you know. Like I said, we'll all be here whenever you decide to come back. So best of luck to you. All right. I'm glad you guys are enjoying these. So right now I'm just yeah, gotta fix that. That's things are getting wild. But yeah, I'm just working on doing some stuff for a video right now. I figured, while I'm sitting here working on stuff, maybe I could chat to you guys in the meantime. So working on a thumbnail for a video that you guys voted on. So thank you, Arthur. I really appreciate that. Glad you enjoy my content. So I enjoy making it and discussing all these things. So, and these live streams have been these live streams have been pretty fun too, I think. So, like I said, I hope you guys are enjoying them. There's not much else to do right now. I mean, I could be much more focused and solely focus on, more videos and whatnot, but I'm just sitting here, it's quiet and doing all this video stuff. It gets kind of old just doing the same thing over and over. So I figured while I'm putting together a thumbnail and whatnot for a new video, I'll chat to you guys. So yeah, those plans very well may change, unfortunately. Everything's affected, so it really sucks. Yeah. All right. Gotta find this yeah, so how you guys doing today? What are you guys up to? Good to see you guys here again, once again, for another surprise stream. So backward. All right. Okay. You're trying to pick between Cedar Point and Great Adventure, and you've already been to Cedar Point. When did you go to Cedar Point, and did you get to ride everything that you wanted to? Because if you got to ride everything you wanted to at Cedar Point and there's nothing new there that you want to do, I would say go to Great Adventure, do something new. I mean, that's my logic, but doing schoolwork, okay. Doing a school project on Intamin, nice, nice. Sounds fun. Intamin has a lot of history, so a lot of stuff to cover there. Oh, yeah, if you rode everything besides Iron Dragon, you got to ride Steel Vengeance twice, I would say pick Great Adventure, do a new park, go to Cedar Point next year or whatever. Yeah, Steel Vengeance opened in 2018, so obviously you've been to Cedar Point in the last couple of years and you got to pretty much do everything, so that's my opinion since you asked, so. Go after Jersey Devils built. Yeah, absolutely. I'm supposed to be going to Great Adventure in June. The plans aren't officially canceled yet, but I have a pretty bad feeling that those will end up being canceled. I've mentioned it in my live streams before, but I'm supposed to be going on a trip second week of June. to many parks, and I'm not sure that's going to happen. Other suggestions that aren't more than 9 hours from Ohio. Oh man, I mean, if you're in Ohio like I am, like you have tons of parks around you. I mean, this is a great area of the country to live for going to amusement parks. You have Holiday World, Kentucky Kingdom, Silver Dollar City, maybe, Dollywood, Great Adventure, Cedar Point, Kings Island, um, the Nickelodeon, that Nickelodeon theme park at the American Dream Mall in New Jersey. You have all the Jersey Boardwalk parks. You have Waldemere, Kennywood, Hershey Park, Knoebels. I mean, you have tons of them. And those are just some of the ones I thought of at top of my head. I'm leaving out some of the smaller ones, but Six Flags Darien Lake. I mean, the options are almost limitless. So Conneaut Lake, yep, absolutely. Lakemont Park. Yeah, there's tons of them. Okay. But even still, even though you've been to Holiday World, Dollywood, Silver Dollar City, and every park in Ohio, I mean, that still leaves tons of other parks like that I just listed off. So, I mean, there's limitless options still. So, if Indiana Beach ends up opening back up at some point, then Indiana Beach is close too. So Carowinds, yes, absolutely. King's Dominion, Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Those are all pretty close within, within 9 hours or so of wherever you live in Ohio. I know you said Southern Ohio, so yeah, but you guys, tons of people voted. Late last night, I put up a poll about which video I should do next again, and the overwhelming majority has voted on a Carowinds ranked video where I rank all of the coasters at Carowinds. So I've done Cedar Point and King's Dominion so far, so go watch those if you haven't. And I guess I'm gonna do Carowinds now. So I'm right now I'm just casually putting together a thumbnail for a Carowinds ranked video. So let's see. As So I'm just kind of doing that back and forth here, along with talking to you guys, new folder. Erwin's ranked. Should be fun. I'm not the biggest fan of like ranking videos, but I mean I enjoy ranking the parks and stuff. That's why I do these videos. So it's kind of cool, just to see where we all stand and see what we think, you know. I don't think my Carowinds ranking is going to be too controversial. It's, I mean, probably very on par with a lot of people, I guess, besides maybe one or two coasters. Uh, is Six Flags America worth it? Definitely not like most of the other parks I mentioned. No, that'd be one of the last ones I visit in the whole country, honestly. Um, yeah, iMan has some good suggestions. Try going to New Hampshire and Maine for Canopy Lake Park, Funtown, Palace Playland, and Storyland. And all that's like 10 or 11 credits. Okay. Number one at Carowinds is Woodstock Express, 100%. All right. Yep. Yep. You got it. Better than Fury 325. More like Shmurry Me Too Mine. I don't know. Oh, man. Okay. So Flying Cobras is actually the only Vekoma boomerang that I've been on up to this point. And I had heard from some people that that's one of the better ones, and I know it has, like, newer vest restraints on it, so I was actually like, "Okay, this isn't gonna be bad." It was awful. it was I think I sat near the middle of the train. It was definitely one of the many one and done coasters at Carowinds, but that was one of the worst, I think. Um, yeah, that oh man, it was awful. In that Kennywood commercial, I was the bigger kid. I'm I'm just like 2 years older than my, youngest brother, so speed of sound is the best boomerang? I could see that definitely, yeah. I, I am not surprised at all. I've heard it's great. Yeah, I'll have to check I think I have listened to the soundtrack before because I watched a video or something where they're saying it was really good, and I actually went and listened to it. It's pretty cool, so, yeah. Alright, we gotta let's see, I have to find pictures of Carowinds to use for my thumbnail, so let's go into my bank of pictures here. So, in case you guys care at all to hear um, about how I make my videos or whatever, um, I haven't talked a whole lot about this in too specific detail, but when I make a video, typically what I do now I've been pumping out videos a lot faster because I've had all this free time. So I've been like going from nothing to a complete uploaded video in a day, because of the whole quarantine thing. But typically from start to finish, it takes like 3 days, about 2, 3 days or so, to go from nothing to complete uploaded video. So what I do with my videos, um, I usually start out now. Right now, I'm making the thumbnail, and I haven't done anything else yet. Typically, the thumbnail is one of the last things I do. But so what I do is I decide what I want to talk about. I write a script. I pull up a document and I write a script out. I research everything, anything I need to research, I look it up and I do the script. And then I record my audio and then I edit the audio, cut out all the unnecessary stuff and mistakes and whatnot. And then I pull that audio into Adobe. I use Audacity to record my voice. It's free. It's super easy to use. So I use Audacity like many people do for stuff like this. It does the job fine. Um, so after I have my voice edited and I have that file, I open Adobe Premiere Pro, which is the video editing software that I use. Just because I've always used it. I don't have any particular nothing sponsored here, nothing sponsored. So yeah, I pull my voice stuff and my intro and my end card and all that stuff into Adobe Premiere Pro. I look for all the footage I need. I pull all that in there. I edit all the video stuff together. And that's the most time consuming part is doing the video, and putting on titles for like credits and editing it together, making it look smooth, all the effects and whatnot. Then you got to render the video out. And typically, as the video is rendering, that's when I do my thumbnail. So I use Adobe Illustrator. I have the Adobe Creative CS6 suite I got in like 2013. So I use Adobe Illustrator. I know most people use Photoshop to do their thumbnails. I'm much more fluent with Adobe Illustrator, which is a vector program rather than a pixel program like Photoshop. So I use Adobe Illustrator to make my thumbnails. And then, usually by the time I'm done making my thumbnail, the video rendering is done and then I upload it to YouTube. So then, obviously you got to put in all the info on YouTube, description, hashtags, tags, all that good stuff. So, in case you guys care, that is how I make my videos. So, Apollo's Chariot's layout, I mean, I guess you could say it's not that good. It's just a typical B&M Hyper layout. I mean, it's nothing special, but it was the first B&M Hyper, so you can, you can look past that a little bit. I mean, I've heard it's great. It looks awesome, so Why did I do my last stream so late in the night? Why not? Because I'm able to. Why not? All of this stuff is just off the cuff. All these streams I've been doing, besides Coaster Cafe. I mean, Coaster Cafe is still regular time on Saturdays, but why? Was it too late for you? Mm. What what was my first green colored coaster? I like this question. Probably Raptor. I believe Raptor would have been my first green coaster. I don't even know if I've been on a purple coaster, honestly. Maybe one of the kiddie coasters or something that I've been on. I don't know. Do I like Predator at Darien Lake? I've heard it's terrible and it looks terrible. So it's an old Din Woody. I'm sure it's not great. What coaster has the ugliest color scheme? Man, that's a good question. Um, I think there's some pretty ugly ones out there. Um, see, coaster with the ugliest color scheme. I I don't necessarily think that like red and yellow coasters, like it just looks like McDonald's to me. Like when I look at I-305 and other rides that have the yellow and red color scheme, I'm just like, it looks like McDonald's. And not the biggest fan of it. I mean, it's not terrible. It's definitely far from the ugliest color scheme. So I'm not saying that's the ugliest, but it's just like doesn't jive that well, you know. First blue coaster, Junior Gemini. It's probably my first or second coaster ever, actually. So, but my first big blue coaster, Blue Streak, Cedar Point, which is what got me into coasters. So, oh yeah, the original, yeah, X at Magic Mountain before it was X2, absolutely. That I agree. That was probably the ugliest color scheme. The pink and yellow. Ugh. It just reminded me of like Pepto Bismol and basically just Pepto Bismol. I don't know. It's just that pink and yellow is awful. So I'll go with that. Oh yeah, the SLCs with the red track, yeah, and the blue. They're like teal or aqua or something like that, but basically like red and some shade of blue. Those SLCs are really ugly, really ugly. Yeah. So all right, let's see what kind of good pictures I got here. Make an awesome looking thumbnail for you guys. Here's one of the boomerang. Boomerang. That's right. That's like my signature quote now, boomerang. Let's see. We got a picture. I need a picture of Fury on this thumbnail. What do you guys think? I should put Fury on here. So many good pictures of Fury. Fury 325 is just like, I swear, it's like the most photogenic coaster. Like when I went to Carowinds, I have so many pictures of Fury because from everywhere in the park, you can see it pretty much, and it is so beautiful looking. Like I was just taking pictures of that like constantly. Like I just couldn't stop. So I have lots of pretty good pictures of Fury 325 and Intimidator because Intimidator is not a huge fan of it, but it makes for great, as many B&Ms do, makes for great photos. So here's the Fury picture I use for Coaster Cafe. Slide that one in there. Carowinds ranked. What do I think about Nighthawk? Well, I did a full review of it, so I would suggest going and watching my review of Nighthawk. And also, you can see where I rank it when I release this video I'm working on. So, subtle plug there. Jam on acoustic. All right, maybe I'll pull that out in a few minutes. I'll see. Raging Bull at the end of the day gives great flow to airtime. All right. I've heard pretty good. I think Raging Bull looks awesome. I know there's a few enthusiasts who say it's very underrated and overhated on. And I feel like I would love it. I think it looks great. I love the unique layout. So I wish there were more hypers. And I'm glad there are companies coming out now with more original designs, and the old like hyper formula is sort of starting to be broken more. But I love interesting layouts. So, and I think one of the greatest things about RMC is they really forced a lot of companies to innovate in terms of like being more creative with their elements and whatnot. So I really appreciate that. Lots of things that we didn't really see at all like 10 years ago that are just like becoming common now that are just fantastic. So Woodstock Express on thumbnail. I'll see what I can do. Um, never, excuse me, never been on White Lightning, so it looks like a fantastic ride though. I'd love to get to the Fun Spot Parks and ride White Lightning and my mine Mind Blower. Mind Blower looks really awesome. So mhm. Doo doo doo, bur-dur-dur-dur. I kind of don't want to put two B&Ms in the thumbnail, but Intimidator is just such a beautiful looking ride. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna have to put that in there, I think. Or you know what? No, maybe I'll do Copperhead. That's a good picture. I love Copperhead Strike. I was really surprised by Copperhead Strike, honestly. I did a full review of that. Go check it out if you haven't seen it, but really surprised me for sure. I mean, I prefer it over Steel Curtain, which I also rode last year. So great ride. And somebody's out there jamming some music. They're probably cleaning stuff outside or something, jamming to their music. Because it's really nice here today. It is really nice outside. I think this thumbnail is looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. The roller coasters of Carowinds ranked. This should be a fun video. So, West Coast Racers count as opening in 2019 or 2020. I think it could be either or. Um, I'll say 2020 technically, just because it opened to the public, the to everybody in 2020. But at the end of 2019, it was just pass holder preview. So either one is fine, but I guess 2020. 2019 edition, but 2020 opening. So cash register, I did a video explaining about what I think could replace Vortex. I would suggest going to watch that. I'd still say it's pretty accurate. It's from a few months ago, so I seem like a person who likes the color red. I like the color red. It's not. I try to avoid using it a lot though. I I like blue. I like blues, different shades of blue. I mean, look at all this blue. Okay, just just that right there, blue everywhere. So lots of blue in my thumbnails and everything. Blue is on my logo. So blue is just a nice, very pleasing neutral color, and you can do so many things with it because there's so many great shades of blue. I love blue. So I did put Copperhead in, so thumbnail's pretty much done. So yeah, I have Fury, Copperhead, and Flying Cobras. So oh, you saw the Vortex video. Okay. Um I don't think I really necessarily have any new thoughts. Not certainly nothing worth making a new video for, but I do think that the possibility of a Gerstlauer Infinity, maybe like Hang Time or something, could come to Kings Island though, which I didn't talk about that in the video because I didn't really see that at the time. But the more that I thought about it, I'm like, I could maybe see something like that. But I would like to see them take out Invertigo and put a coaster like Hang Time in that spot because Hang Time replaced Knott's standard boomerang. So they'd be able to fit something like that in there. But I think it'd be a good fit for Kings Island, especially since they lost two coasters in the last couple years that focus on inversions. I have not been to Darien Lake. I might go this year, may or may not. So it's only 4 hours away from me. It's actually the closest Six Flags park to my house. So second one being Great America, which is 5.5 hours. I might also go there this year. Yeah, about that. We're not talking about politics in this live stream. So, do I drink G Fuel? No, yuck. Isn't that an energy drink? I do not like energy drinks. So, oh yeah, oh G Fuel. Okay, energy drink formula, caffeinated drink mix. I mean, the flavors look good. Is it actually good? Okay, it is good. Okay, what flavor are you drinking? Let me know. Kings Island is getting amazing coasters. I think if they keep up, Kings Island could beat Cedar Point because Kings Island has land. Yeah, absolutely. Kings Island has tons of land to work with. So they can really do a lot. But honestly, I think it's going to be quite a while, like a really long time, until they actually really expand out and take advantage of a lot of that. Because I feel like they can still do so much more with the land that they have developed. So I don't know if we're going to see that for a while, but they could definitely do a lot. It's the PewDiePie flavor. Oh, some Swedish fruit. Okay. Can Cedar Point build more land? Theoretically, yeah, but I don't think it'd really be worth the cost and whatnot. I think Cedar Point just needs to utilize what they have in the most strategic way possible. Possibly eventually move parking off of the peninsula and use some of the parking lot to expand the park. Things like that. Possibly even build a parking garage or something. I don't know. I did a video a little over a year ago talking about Cedar Point's parking and what they could do for the future. So maybe go check that out. That's an older video of mine, but what do I think the next coaster coming to Six Flags Great Adventure after Jersey Devil? I could see them adding something like West Coast Racers. So maybe it'll be East Coast Racers. I think that would be a really good fit for Great Adventure. So because they have King de Ka, which is a super intense high thrill launch coaster. But they could use something a little bit more family oriented. Maybe not like a family coaster, but I mean, I would say West Coast Racers is a thrill coaster, but something more um, popular with the general public and not just thrill seekers. So I could see that. I know that was actually rumored for Great Adventure. Along with an RMC Raptor, which we ended up getting. So when do you see RMC, or do you think RMC will build a wooden Giga coaster? Wooden Giga coaster is not going to happen. I would like to see a hyper wooden coaster, that's actually good be built. So I would love to see RMC do that, but will it ever happen? Who knows? Next Hershey Park coaster after Candemonium. I think RMC Wildcat is next. I don't know if they'll RMC Wildcat. I would love to see Hershey Park get an RMC though. So I could see them getting a wing coaster though, a B&M wing coaster, honestly. So I think Steel Vengeance is bad. Why would I think Steel Vengeance is bad? If you're referring to what I said about wooden coasters, Steel Vengeance is not a wooden coaster. So I mean, it has a wood structure, but it's a steel coaster. Even though it's a hybrid, it's a steel coaster. Um, East Coast Racers. Yep, that's right. Yep, I saw the West Coast Racer parody. No, I don't think he meant a non-hybrid wooden because he specifically asked me if and when I think RMC will build a a giga wooden coaster, kind of. So yeah, whatever. I'm not really getting into that. um, yeah, I agree. I think Wildcat they just need to bring GCI back and just have them do a major overhaul of that and turn it into a good ride because Wildcat looks like it could be a great ride. So I would love to see it remain a wooden coaster for sure. I would love to see GCI build a hyper wooden coaster. I would love that. Will it ever happen? I don't know about that. The tallest, we only see a couple so far, a couple large GCIs. The largest one's 131 feet tall. So I remember that from off the top of my head. Um, I was actually thinking about that, about Lightning Racer. I could maybe see Lightning Racer getting RMC'd before Wildcat, but it still seems like it's a fairly popular ride, and of course, it has a great capacity. If it would by chance get RMC'd, I would hope they would keep it a dueling coaster, maybe do something like a Twisted Colossus. That'd be awesome, but just a thought. Okay, let's see. Do I think a coaster will be built over 500 feet in the next 10 or 15 years? Yeah, maybe. I think I think within I think in 10 or 15 years it could happen, yeah. I don't think it's gonna happen super soon though. It just doesn't seem necessary. I mean, coasters that big are just so damn expensive. So then you're usually sacrificing something else in favor of just having a really tall coaster. Um, you know, King Ka and Top Thrill Dragster, they're very short, basically have no elements besides a top hat, just because they're so huge and they're expensive. So it's like, eh, I'd rather see if a park is going to spend that much money, I'd rather see you know, more gigas or something like that. So, yeah. But let's see. I'm going to open up a document here and I am going to rank Carowinds coasters. And no, I am not taking suggestions from any of you. I'm not taking suggestions. Yes, I know King Kai has an airtime hill. I know. But anyway, I'm not taking suggestions for Carowinds coaster rankings because this is my ranking. This is my ranking, my personal ranking of coasters that I've ridden at Carowinds. So this is my ranking of the Carowinds coasters. And that's why I make these videos so you guys can hear my thoughts. So I'm sorry, but not taking ranking suggestions. I personally, I only rank things that I've ridden, typically, unless I'm doing like bucket list or things like that. Um, so yeah. And yeah, I'm also not gonna like rank any parks where I haven't actually been there. So the next park to build a giga, um, well, Busch Gardens Williamsburg was anyway supposed to be getting a giga next year. But if not them, I think maybe Busch Gardens Tampa could get one in the future. Other than that, I think we're done with gigas in North America. I don't think we're really going to see any more beyond maybe those parks. So, do I think Intamin will make another giga or standard hyper? Um, I think they could make another hyper. The giga, I'm not so sure. So, hypers are just much more attainable and inherently they cost less, you know. So, do I think any of the SeaWorld parks will get a giga? No, I don't think so. The SeaWorld branded parks, I couldn't see it. If it does happen, it's going to be way out in the future, like not for at least another like 10 or 15 years, probably. So I don't think it's going to happen. I don't personally see it. I would like to be proven wrong, but I don't see it. Six Flags Magic Mountain, RMC T Rex Giga. Yeah, I mean, I think if Six Flags were by any chance to build a Giga, they'd probably have RMC do it. So, do I think it's going to happen necessarily? Not really. And I don't think he was actually saying he actually thought it was going to happen either. But yeah, I don't know. All right, I need to look at Carowinds lineup now. I'm going to rank all these rides. This is going to be fun. 14 coasters, man. Wow, Carowinds has 14 coasters and they only have 3 defunct coasters. That's awesome. That's awesome. Wish they could have kept Thunder Road and still added to the water park without having to remove that. Because I love, like Racer and Racer 75. Those are great old school wooden coasters. So Thunder Road just looked awesome. But I know they said they wouldn't have removed it if they didn't have to for the water park. So dang all water park expansions suck. What Woody do I think RMC will transform next? Go watch my video I did a couple months ago about which coasters I think could see the RMC treatment. I'm probably actually going to do a second one of those videos as well because there are definitely other ones I could see potentially being RMC'd as well beyond that video. So Rings of Earth says sometimes I don't understand why parks have to have both a Giga and a Hyper. They are similar except for the height. I would have to disagree. Most Hypers and Gigas are pretty different usually. Most of the Gigas are more focused on speed, whereas Hypers are more focused on big airtime hills. So, and when do I think Vekoma will build one of their new models in the US? Hopefully, very soon. I sure hope so. I know Dollywood just worked with Vekoma on one of the new generation family coasters, which is Dragonflyer. Awesome ride. Maybe they'll get like a Vekoma Hyper or something. I would love to see that. Am I saying I think that's going to happen? No, I'm by no means saying that, but I think it'd be awesome. So, whoop, okay. This is 13. Oh, man. Do I think King's Dominion is getting an SNS 40 coaster? Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like they will be. I think it's a pretty decent addition to replace the Crypt. I mean, you're getting a new coaster to replace a flat ride. So I just hope that in a couple years we do get a good replacement for a Volcano. So I would like to see someone do like RMC, just fix some of the custom aerodynamics loopers. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, but it doesn't make sense from a business perspective, I don't think, for these parks to, unless they can somehow market it as a brand new ride, which maybe they could. But if we're talking about just like having a company come in and do the same exact layout with like a new improved track, I don't know how successful that would be. I don't think the parks are willing to invest that kind of money into rides like those old Aero loopers. So, what will Kennywood's next coaster be after Steel Curtain? I have no idea. What do I think Knoble's new coaster will be? I have no idea. I'm done answering those questions. I don't know. Yeah, I'm burnt out on those questions, to be honest with you. So it's kind of fun to think about it, but it's I'm not great at predicting things. I do predictions every now and then for parks I'm familiar with and whatnot, but um, Dollywood may be getting a hyper in the mountains. I hope they do. That'd be great to see. Have it use the terrain there. So watch it be another Orion. It's gonna be it's gonna be 187 feet tall and have a 200-foot drop, and people are gonna be arguing about it. So yeah, a lot of aero rides being removed. It's kind of sad. So there's some good aero rides too. I'm probably gonna do a video at some point ranking the aerodynamics coasters that I've personally ridden. So yeah, Morgan did fix Steel Phantom, but that was a very long time ago. That was over 20 years ago. Um, and Steel Phantom was not that old. And also, it was just kind of like a special case, honestly, because Steel Phantom was such an out there concept and it was such a radically different ride. I don't think like having somebody like Morgan or whatever come in and do stuff with these standard hypers, I don't think it would work out the same way. I don't think it would translate that well like Phantom's Revenge did. So that's just my opinion though. Maybe they could do great stuff with those hypers. I don't know. How do I think Arrow would be doing if they did not go bankrupt? I think they would still be innovating. Yeah, because we saw some innovative stuff right before the end. I mean, their last coaster X was that's still a really innovative ride. I mean, it's still crazy now, 20 years later. So mock rides is amazing. I hope it's a mock hyper, but I'm not banking on it. What will replace Anaconda? Yeah, I think Anaconda's gonna go really soon. So I don't know what'll replace it. Maybe I'll do a video at some point on that. But you know what? No, I'm not gonna do that because we need a replacement for Volcano first. So we're getting way ahead of ourselves, I think. And who knows what's happening with all these parks now. So all right. Let's do this ranking. Doo, 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 doo. For the replacement of Volcano, can Intamin build a modern launched inverted coaster? They absolutely could. But is it going to happen? No. I wish. Yeah, I did know that. I always thought that was crazy how King's Dominion closed 2 coasters in 2015. I mean, obviously one, was replaced fairly quickly. But yeah, that's crazy. I mean, King's Dominion has lost a lot over the past 10 years or so. Well, the past like 5 years actually. It but and everybody is saying, "Oh, what's going to happen with King's Dominion? This, that." Um, Cedar Fair is not neglecting King's Dominion. I'm sorry. People are just ridiculous. King's Dominion is not a neglected park. They do need some more additions to help fill the gaps with everything they've been losing. And I think over the next 10 years, that park is going to get some really good stuff. So King's Cedar Fair is not neglecting that park. It's it's one of the best Cedar Fair parks. It gets quite a bit of investment put into it. So, and even though it was 8 years between coasters there, it's really not that long, and I mean, both of those coasters were incredible rides, incredible additions to the park. So, I love King's Dominion's lineup personally. Even without Volcano, I think it's still a really solid lineup. What do I prefer? B&M over the shoulder restraints or B&M vest restraints? Well, I know with dive coasters, a lot of people prefer the classic over the shoulder restraints, and I can see that. I've only been on Valraven as far as dive coasters go. Not a huge fan of it. Maybe I would like it better if it had the classic over the shoulders. But typically, I would say I prefer the vest restraints just because I like how there's no head banging. It makes it a lot smoother typically. Um, some of the vest restraints though are tighter. I noticed when I rode Banshee, those vest restraints were like really tight on that ride. Whereas like the newer ones, they've worked on that more and it's not nearly as bad. But I personally don't mind the vest restraints from B&M. So top three Six Flags parks. Great America, Great Adventure, Magic Mountain. Uh, top three bucket list Six Flags parks. The same parks. Honestly, the same parks. So in the same order, I believe. Yeah, Shockwave was replaced with a flat ride. Um, but although Shockwave was replaced with a pretty solid flat ride that I think is great for that park. And from what I hear, Shockwave was not a great coaster. So yeah, I don't know. Ugh. Top three bucket list parks in general. I would say mm, Busch Gardens Williamsburg, Busch Gardens Williamsburg, Hershey Park, and hmm, Six Flags Great America. I guess I don't know. I that's a difficult question. Yeah, yeah, Togo stand up. Yep. Do I think Intamin should build more spinning coasters? No, I the ones I've seen don't really look that exciting, but uh, yeah, right, right. I know it was the second to last Togo in the US. Well, I guess instead of just staring at the screen here, I could maybe show you guys like a 360 sort of view of like where I'm at right now. This so if you guys care at all to see, this is like my little studio I made up. It's in a spare room in my house, and I'll just go around here. It's gonna look a little bit out of focus in some spots probably, but yeah, some some views of the space I'm working in. So I can't really turn it around anymore that way, but I'll bring it back over here and show you guys. Yep, this is yeah, there it is. There's my exciting studio tour. I think I think you dropped this. I wish Togo built a good coaster in the US. I agree because a lot of the Togos that are in like Japan look so cool. I mean, some of those are awesome, like Bandit. Bandit looks like an awesome ride. Fujiyama, I think Fujiyama looks great. So, absolutely. I wish the US could have seen a ride like that from Togo instead of, Big Apple Coaster and Shockwave and all that kind of stuff. You heard the Togo Ultra Twister in the US was great, or it was good, you heard? Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. Looks cool. It's a cool looking ride. Yeah, Togo is a Japanese, I guess defunct Japanese roller coaster manufacturer. So, um, they made tons of rides are known to be pretty awful. So, yes, I've seen that Intamin spinning coaster in Denmark. Yes, very interesting ride. Yeah, very interesting. Tornado at Bakken. I'm gonna look at it again right now. Actually, it's a very interesting ride though, for sure. Always fascinated with rides like that people don't really talk about, but they just look so cool. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like it's only a little over 1,000 feet long, but it looks like a really fun ride. Honestly, really fun looking family coaster. Pretty cool theming too. Actually, they did a really good job with the whole facade of the building. So yeah, that's a really cool looking ride, and it has like oh yeah, it has like restraints like Maverick on it. That's cool. Yeah, Bakken is the oldest amusement park in the world. It opened in 1583. That's insane. So, Tantrum at Darien Lake is a Gerstlauer. That's a Gerstlauer coaster. Okay, so yeah, Six Flags is done working with Gerstlauer. Before Six Flags repurchased Six Flags Darien Lake, the previous owners of Darien Lake actually bought Tantrum, and Tantrum was installed right as Six Flags was buying the park. So Six Flags didn't actually buy that Gerstlauer coaster. That was the old owners that put that in the park. So that's why there's that's why there's a newer Gerstlauer at a Six Flags park. Get an insane pop of ejector air on the drop. Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, a lot of those beyond vertical drops are awesome. I mean, you get some insane air on those. So sitting on the back of Maverick, holy, oh man, that's an experience unlike any other. Going down that 95-degree drop. Yeah, glad I could clarify that for you because that I'm sure that is confusing if you don't realize like the tight time frame there. It's like what's a Gerstlauer doing at Six Flags, you know? So, but yeah, Six Flags is done working with them. Man, this Carowinds ranking is difficult once you get past like once I got past number 6, it became or number 7, it became quite a bit more difficult to do. Let's see. All right, I think I have a pretty solid ranking here now. So, my favorite cloned roller coaster, I would have to say the RMC single rails are I haven't ridden any of them, but I mean, they look hands down to be the best clone coasters. The Batman clones look really good. I know those are kind of a lot of people are kind of tired of those because they're everywhere and they've been around for so long, but they look like phenomenal rides, and I've heard they're great. So the Skyrocket 2s, as far as like newer clone models, the Skyrocket 2s look really good actually. And, I've been on a Mauer spinner called Steel Dragon at Waldemere, and that's actually the same exact ride as, like, Laugh Track at Hershey Park, um, and those are great too, I love those, Mauer spinning coaster. Batman the Ride yeah, that seems like a good favorite clone there for sure, good pick. Your favorite is Ride oh, yeah, Ride of Steel, okay. Yeah, Ride of Steel would actually well, I would still say the RMC single rails are better, I'm sure, but, yeah, Superman, yeah, the Ride of Steel coasters, I mean, those look a little underrated, in my opinion. Those airtime bunny hops at the end look phenomenal, so alright, guys, well, thank you for joining me, on today's surprise live stream once again. So, I'm gonna get going now and work on some more stuff with this video, and it'll probably be out like tomorrow or something, tomorrow or the day after, I'm sure. So, it's been fun, and I'm sure I'll be seeing you guys again. if I don't do another surprise live stream before then, which I probably will at some point, um, I will I'll be doing episode 12 of Coaster Cafe on Saturday at noon normal time. So um that's 12 p.m. noon Eastern. So thank you guys for watching. You guys have a great day. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.